Good morning. How are you all doing today? These days are piling on, aren't they? I'm trying to get to all your questions, and unfortunately, I'm running late today. So I'm going to make this a short 10-minute version. You'll probably be happy with that, but I'm not going to be able to get to so many questions that I want to. If you feel that something is very important that you're going through, you call this clinic, okay, guys, because we're here to help you through these things. This one I wanted to talk about was a gentleman in, I think he's in Romania, I think, and I've got my book is in Romanian, hardback edition. If you're a diabetic, you don't just stop your insulin cold turkey. Never do that. If your medical doctor won't help you titrate or come off of these meds, then you're taking the responsibility on your own. And if you do, you want to be smart about it. Common sense. There's really only 2 or 3 medications that you have to worry about. Steroids are obvious. You have to the longer you're on a steroid, you have to titrate off of that because of the adrenal kick that happens. It just shuts down your adrenal glands. And I wanted to relate that to the enzyme question. The lady came back to me, aren't plants full of enzymes? Absolutely, but not digestive enzymes. And it's not giving the pancreas a rest. Cells are like conscious beings. They don't need a rest in the sense that that's their job. That's what they do. And it's the resting isn't how a cell fixes itself in a sense. I mean, it's how we fix ourselves maybe, but cells have 2 fluids that directly touch them, and their performance is based upon the condition of these 2 fluids and the impact one way or another that these 2 fluids provide. An example would be the lymph fluids would become constipated. That would be the problem with affecting the function of a cell, is constipation, just like constipation affects your clarity. The other, of course, is getting blood to a cell. If you don't get oxygen and carbon to a cell, you're going to lose a cell. And I don't quote me, but I think in radiation therapy it destroys the oxygen absorption of a cell, but not the glucose. So you have fermentation of cells up to 20 years or so. Irregardless, this gentleman just cold turkey stopped his insulin, and please don't do that. You have to regulate it. You can't take the amount of units that you were given, because you could end up in the hospital in a diabetic coma, and you don't want your blood sugars to go too high either. So you want to play that. Now, there's different, the metric scale and our scale, and there's a different way you look at those. So, but if you need help here, there's a nurse here, and she can give you some pointers. But ultimately, either your medical doctor should help you. Medical doctors should all be working with us all for us all to get well and off of these pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals should only be short-term emergency type situations where you need a stat need. Homeopathics work so well that you could almost use homeopathics for everything. But when you're having an insulin problems, you could add some steamed vegetables too if your insulin's going this going up and down, of course, is real possible. And remember, we talked about neurological diabetes. And this is another whole level of thinking. And so you might, just on the safe side, you want to get on the herbs, no question. You always want to do the pancreatic herbs because they do control blood sugar to a certain extent. If it is a pancreatic beta cell problem, then that formula will enhance the function of these cells, bring them into a state of health. Because we're not trying to determine how they function and what we want them to do. We want them to do what they're designed to do, and that's why if you keep it simple. And so always be careful when you're coming off of insulin. That can be a serious problem. But you have to meter that, because those that don't, I've had people that went into a diabetic coma because they didn't listen to me. And I make sure that if you're going to regulate this yourself, you have to understand that fruits and vegetables are going to lower your blood sugar. These are simple sugars. I call it glucose loading because as your fat breaks down and as you're detoxifying, you could see this blood glucose levels going up and down. Fructose is going to go on in a cell and you're good there. But you still have to keep that moderation. You still have to keep those blood sugars. And I would say keep them definitely below 120 if you can. You know, they don't give insulin down here in the hospitals until you hit 200. So be smart with that. I think it's your brother or uncle, honey, that you're talking about, and you're from Portugal. Yay, Portugal. I love Portuguese people. You guys are sweethearts, man. I can go to Portugal and practice without any fear of the government coming after me. It was neat. There's the University of Biology and Science there. And I'll give you some names if you want to. Some good naturopaths around there. But this one man, a good Baptista, he was a senator in Portugal and then became the top naturopath and has schools. Everybody has a school in Portugal, either homeopathic or naturopathic. Great bunch of people. Sorry to say I don't go over there. I lost my contact, my interpreter and the lady that was helping me here in this country. But I just love the Portuguese people. I don't go to Lisbon anymore, but definitely love the Portuguese people. Let's see if you had some other questions. Yeah, Bulgaria. Yeah, I believe my book's in Bulgaria as well. There, we were going to open up a healing center, I believe, in Bulgaria. So we'll see how that goes. Now, let's see if you had any other questions, honey, for me. Okay, I'm just going to whiz through this right now. I only have 10 minutes here. I think she's 43. Is he talking about that? Yes. Talking about the digestive enzymes. I suggest you don't get into that. If you want to use them once in a while, okay. But I suggest you don't play that game. You don't really need to play that game. If you're not digesting fruits and vegetables, get in the pancreatic formula. Get your kidneys filtering your lymph system. Get all that inflammation out, all those acids out of those tissues. Because this lymph system backs up in the bowel wall, backs up in the wall of the liver, in the wall of the pancreas, and begins to suppress the function of cells. And again, we could be talking neurological as well here. That's why there's a lot of different avenues. And this young man from Germany was into medical school and addressed the nervous system. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to get too involved with people here in terms of anatomy and physiology. It is true the central nervous system and the autonomic, they work together. The autonomic reaches up into the brain. I can tell you a lot of cases where you felt that nerve top to bottom. But and periphery, your nervous system works together, sympathetic, parasympathetic. So I really don't get into the finalities of those things, so I apologize. I don't teach A&P much. Matter of fact, I only went so far in it myself because after a while, unless that's your specialty, you don't use it, you lose it. There's so many things I don't remember about the human body in depth, because I never use those things anymore, and I really can care less. But appreciate the comments, though, really do, and have fun in med school. But big hugs and kisses out there for you guys. Really, really, really. Yeah, no sulfur. Yeah, you know what's interesting about that? MSM and glucosamine and all that. Now, if you'll watch commercials on TV, now they're coming out with skincare products, no sulfates. How interesting is that? That's why I say I don't get into isolated chemistry and sulfur compounds. Bad news bears. If you could sit here with me, you would see so many people fighting sulfur in the body, which is a fungal proliferant. They always have major fungal problems, which leaves uric acid. So a lot of people have gouty problems, and RA, almost every RA case that's rheumatoid arthritis, almost every case of RA I've seen has high sulfur content in them. So, and it's a lymphatic suppressor, and it gets in the gut wall. You feel like you got IBS, you feel like you've got acid reflux all the time. It's always burning, a lot of gas. So, I don't recommend any isolates at all, really, but in particular any sulfur compounds, particularly pharmaceutical type sulfurs there. Cindy, my time is about up here. I want to talk to you about what you said. I love your letter, honey. I hope this is not too private, but this really needs to go on the spiritual side. You got some great spiritual questions, and I want to address. I will say this: you have to be the light. You can't. You have to separate God from creation in a sense, and because creation is just the playground of the Supreme Being. And we have to separate the playground is dark and light. You have the darkness and the evil as well as you have the light. And if you notice, since consciousness is going up, so is the darkness, if you will. So you have both of these things balance. And so that's why Buddha, I think, said, follow the middle path. You know, don't be for or against. Don't get in the light or the darkness. Be the light. You know, and then wherever you walk, whatever plane you're on, wherever you are, you're the light. You're not looking to that source, because if you look outside of yourself as the light, then you disempower yourself and you give whatever you're dealing with the power. And you are the power. And that's most important to understand there. I hope I didn't get too wacky on that, but I really have to see a client here, and I really apologize. I wish I could make this longer. I really wanted to address the blood sugar problem, and I hope you get this today, because you can't just stop your medications. High blood pressure would be another one that you want to you can use those as PRN, which is when needed. You can use these medications when you need them, particularly high blood pressure medications. Your statins and stuff, major money maker, big time problems, liver damages. Lipitor is well known for that. Fosamax, all these osteoporosis drugs. I mean, they keep putting these things out, knowing that it's drying up people's bones, and I just can't believe that man can keep doing what he's doing there. My time is really about up here. Oh, I did want to address one more thing, and I'll get to this tomorrow, I hope. And that's the lady that writes a lot about the gallbladder polyps. Honey, this is the lymph system in your gallbladder pushing through. They're like little tumors, if you want to call them anything. And it could be the wall of your gallbladder is getting weak from interstitial lymphatic constipation. This is all about your lymph system. And remember, when things are acidic, things become anionic, which means they dehydrate, coagulate, harden, and stone up. So to unstone is definitely a base or an alkaline experience. So you can take the liver formulas. You definitely want to get that lymphatic formula. 2 kidneys, 2 lymphatics. I do the lymphatic 1 capsules, the stomach and bowel formula, hit the liver formula, and get a high up on that fruit, berry, and melon. You've got to move that lymph system. Could take you a while. You don't have to freak out, because you're moving that lymph. The problem is, and this is true, if you can't get to that area, if you can't move that lymph through the bowel, through the liver, then those polyps can grow on you. But you're working on it, and that's what's most important. And if you keep working diligently and you work hard, then you'll save your gallbladder. If you end up having to have surgery, you have to have surgery. But if you get diligent and you get focused, honey, you'll win this, and you'll be okay. Don't freak out and relax. You'll be okay. You just got to get this lymph moving. That's really important. And it's not just for the gallbladder, it's for the liver as well. That baby's right in there, and you can't have a gallbladder in trouble without having a liver somewhat in trouble. So you just got to move that lymph. That's all that is. It's like the colon polyps. That's just the lymph system, They're like stalactites hanging down from the ceiling. So, but it's in the ceiling that's the problem. It's in the wall that's the problem there. So I love you guys. Sorry I had to make this quick, but you have fun today, and we'll talk to you again soon, okay? Tomorrow, if I can, I'll get to the rest of these questions, and I do appreciate these questions. Thank you very much. I'll do my best to help all of you, okay? Bye-bye. Have fun today, guys. Bye-bye.